the only person that ultimately ba fie Kuffour.
Oh
yes, sir. They've been at the political trenches for quite a long time. After Buzia, mo depose no.
The other party in the fie.
Exactly. Onona, after several years, 20 years and over.
30 years.
30 years and over. Ultimately, in the name of MPP, ultimately capture political power for the MPP as a political party. But Alaska, that be a mekase. Sir, when you kwenya now be dio mampanyini. Na we dio mampanyina. We assume say we a national figure.
That's right.
But the political ties, you cannot disconnect yourself entirely. For instance, Mahama president and they, you cannot take him away from NDC. He's part of the NDC because he's the leader of the NDC. So Nema be Obayano will definitely know will have to your friends tell towards the party's larger vision. Sabaya party news with me because party no and a vehicle in the buy.
That's right.
But the very moment you exit power as a former president, that excessive partisan ties nanka as a winner no, and this say hobby at this time no be at be a friend statesman.
Okay.
We a symbolic figure who represent the entire country. Your vested interest is no longer, even though you may have partisan undertones though. But overriding ways among for the who is a national figure.
That's right.
So very often when people mention Kwame Nkrumah, some don't even remember party and all.
CPP.
People don't even remember the CPP. Or what I say, among for Kai Kwame Nkrumah as a national figure. Papa ya buy operation feed yourself.
A champion.
Or no, so no, Minyaso symbol in the party or the background Kai. But you remember a champion, any operation in your more So the very moment you become president, and I will free former president, that is the kind of line as a told. So in discharging such a role, your name is away. Mamma who say yes. Say dear papa no and yet excessively partisan biom number more fan national lengths in Ashe, our opinion at TFI. Some opinion not so cobonia, as I will draw attention. Near me acquire so kind, that is what you do. So Rollins, when Rollins exited power and started doing those things. I want for tagging a demon because but the guy was doing his job as a statesman. Because at the time, why president pen the amuguso amoye, no former we Mr. Power Rollins said, Ghana will be no waiting with this power. What I say, if you are to go by this constitutional rule, and you are not sitting at the top now, Dibia Bayabiano, or who be paying power be a woody be our DB paying. And he is in a very good position to rebuke you and says, at a mouse, we you may always disagree with him. But as a former president, he's supposed to do those things. Have you been shaping the political discourse? Nandi Pono Motin chance when you GD Musa we in a he's still on course because you can't experience and then as a former OB. And Rollins, you several times. On the NDC as a political party in your Bantabibre or not Hamas. Yes, at some point, Hamas president were Jadi.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
I was afraid your friends. I took Cameron and say, my Jai. Rollins,
I'm from also, my Jai.
I said, we're packing the name when your friends are casting or coffee.
I'm my fan.
There's a Rollins to the home one thing. I couldn't were Jadi. And some more coming and dance and also baby in the box. I know. So Rollins, even though in the party in the NDC, Namos and a former president and a vice president. I think John Mahama crab a Jane Eddie, L. Rollins and
that's right.
What I say? He never or not he was on them. The idea is
babies with short teeth.
Exactly. Okudato and Co. Now Rollins was all over because baby or not saying none of what family they were no who pay no. Or had the cost why he felt a deviation from the larger core, your friends a tenant now, or more the city party where he wanted the party to go. And I make a say you may disagree with him because you nipa. But the mere fact is what you hear that bold. Now all criticize on one casa the party, on one casa the deputy president, ultimately criticizing or no. Clearly a choice this person you can't take away that national figure from him.
That's right.
So those are the same way and I expect from President Kuffour because OST, NDC by we saw a lot of criticisms and I course under Mills Kuffour on several times, about President Mills and as for about some of the things that they were doing. But immediately Kuffour took power. He decided to seal his mouth.
Exactly.
And it's not as if said Neman and air cost no ya near my normal things. Niama Kuffour do be no kroma president bianu under this Fourth Republic wa be sansem hunu no bi da. Ya appointment nepotism corruption hwan just a wo bobo a wonwie enema hunu bia betimi aboso se e wa aban mu a political ye fen se ofa political history na political book bia na wo kanya enema hunu bia ha o ma twere on mu se wo ya aban se wa avoid no Kuffour ado ye ni gina Kuffour ankasa to a point the very vehicle Kuffour used to capture political power the MPP na ankasa no Kuffour ado nemo ye nyina fracture the party itself. So Kuffour ado didn't only destroy Ghana, he destroyed the party MPP. Enter na now parliament 88 no.
87.
Okay. So you first said Niema na or say no na nya Ghana nkwana na or say including a political vehicle called the MPP for the win you know. So the expectation was that ye beye bibia fa ho na obetimi aka bibia fa ho say beye obetimi atentene president ye first Kuffour ado at the time. Maybe at the time no what the radio so kan say we dey ja no say me kokan be bot wogu ebia mahama wa free power at the time kokan bakasa oyo opposition leader ntina oka na Kuffour de enam say wo ye party ni na obi anim say wo ye MPP ni no say wo de wo nationalistic we no beka or better take you serious me and my party ni na kan so much was expected from President Kuffour at the time say ko betimi ayesa but let's kasa na ma we nyina nkoso obu na ni gu so e ma ne ma say nyina say ye na ye bekwa awie ye na Ghana fo abamabu a binum some people were even calling for coup d'etat because of amamu born ya Kuffour ado abebu no kroma na amanfo abamabu no President Kuffour nya kokoduro kogina political platform so je microphone ka kire
Ghana wangina no ote ho
yo ni mu bia kopie o campaign platform assist ka kire Ghana for say onto abamaba umia who has been the vice president to Kuffour ado what all the amayen the most horrible governance in the history of this country under the Fourth Republic the most corrupt the most nepotistic government ever under the history of this Fourth Republic. He was boldly out there campaigning for. So it means that even though what transition from being a president to become a former president there, but you are still a partisan element, not a nationalistic element.
And a figure.
And as a figure. And the ambassador, the sort of respect I was expecting, you will not find it. It's the reason why in the lead up to the elections, Ubekaya na manfo kaseti President Kuffour on several platforms because of Nema na oye. For people expect say ye can you live yasem amamu boni cause o kenoforiata omo rank here jank MPP as a political party manfo wo mo skan ko just say Nema hunu bebre cause Papa we could not found his voice anywhere. He never spoke about anything. So in the eyes of reasonable thinking men of society in Ghana no, they will see you some way be and one kasa o party no so no. Oh yes sir. Omono will not take you serious. And until na yaba be drew a point ne ababeda di say party ni niam mu ye nyina no ye twa na sinchen na ye nema because maybe the doubt the sort of impact a bit media make and that's what make it on this particular thing. And there are those who also have their doubts already know watch the baby award that until watch the baby award the Alaska ye baba je ye adwenkyere furu wa say means I don't know maybe I will go to favor a particular person. What I say?
And one my own said Baumia and an Adjumu dog.
Yes. And as you see, I can say party leadership, rank and file of the party, there is no leadership.
Oh really?
Oh, no leadership for him.
MPP.
Party leader is a leader. One a bit about his leader. Why? Acquire Casa who ya na wine.
Justin Kodia.
Oh, massa. No, in the quiet press conference as general secretary CEO of a party. Say my young contest. I did na ma men for so munya na we oni the okeka. Ma men nam fie ma okono. Na Justin Kodia ni nua no executive for san kan ho. Which means nsam na ono kan chese baller bi no no.
Okay, so we
you see what I say? And the one nipa no mo no one kaso mumu no. Chama ya se wa yera menim so mo hwehwe na hunu dia menim. Because me say na you say letter beto abon say omo chama ya yera. So I don't know so mo hunu dia fine. So clearly you could see say party na nkasa no enyina gina bia ye because of how our name asiaye no. So that consultation I was expecting you have a proper consultation in line when you know say there is a proper party structure in place. You're very responsible and run freely. That is when you do some of these things. But already the party vehicle Nankasa is fractured. There is no leadership. There is nobody you can look up to in terms of who lead the party. And also baba ya there. And people on bako abontia ko kasama party na be man neema sisi ho yenu nso no ne nam na nsem hunu no monam no moka. And the party in the eyes of reasonable men of conviction in Ghana no, they are not conducting themselves as a political party. I will go into election wakulusu. Na mom ehun hia se metena nche na my sober reflection. Na matoto me neema yema Ghana for asenya Jimmy atumi ye. Alaska. Sa neema no you don't find it anywhere. Enti ene okwa parliament I say ayarega akoka se akoka about by election.
That's right.
And into MPP are walking away from just a childish kind of way. I walk away from parliament. And nipa na we know them by elections because so omoka or Canada doesn't take away from anything because that is the practice. Even electoral commission, there is a timeline on some of these things.
Exactly.
You need to do this. So the preparation must start in parliament. So Obi Kocaine, what is the beef about it? You understand? So Niamo mo yen yina as an amateur group of your friends say egoistic individuals biya. Omu left them their right. And Niamo hunu biya na they're just shopping for attention. And for me, that is my worry. So President Kuffour and some now Okano, he is partly responsible for what the NPP as a political party has become. Kwa abro mugu party, omugu power no mudi nsebunu no. Ofi na nka Okano kwechire omo a enka bia nka party na meduru ha sei. 2.3. Afoko enko when they were being chased out.
That's right.
Kwa Japan, no when they were being sacked from the party. When people were being assaulted, yeah, one man for second party offices. Party account ba akofo timi ko yisika film near pambinum na se for
and another year because and it's also the sister by
Alaska and this anema na course no nyina no Kuffour was supposed to be the voice asenka oye sa anema no na o shepherd the MPP as a political party because at the time Onua the only living your friend is saying former president of the Dankwa Buzia tradition. They respected him so much. So be respected. You need to walk that particular respect. Now we hear Numa ebe reflect. But so why yes no. Na say ubu and nigusuna o free say oh just like that because I am enjoying my party is in power to the near kickbacks beba Ghana so the do weekend and assess skagu sa vortex box num.
Okay.
Na the cock and the bawa was another free say you okay. I catch as a political leadership being in an eminent position no go beyond money. You need to exert a significant influence and that kind of respect about man for any GD na hotoso wo mu. Kwa Alaska me ni GD na hotoso wo mu a. Asam to me about man
no.
For me to walk all the way to you, say me no besusu asem no. I should respect you first of all and be reliable. Say Alaska, you make me rely on to discuss whatever that I want to. So when that thing is not being done, no but if you na asem ha no ko next door neighbor no ko bona man ya. It means something adebi ho ha wonye ni ye. Oba no respect you and say oni gidie wo mu. That is why we furu fie koba obi on ne neighbor man ye. E be na relationship a won ne wo no and some wo ho. What I say?
Wow.
Yes. So I think in some now can you in my PSA you might want to sympathize with him, but I think say or no because MPP say o pepanyini pa o ma Kuffour. And omo woman nyina yam kra.
Panin so na osi yam fa ne nya hwi.
Nti no it means say ekwan na mabo ato ho no ene na nam so a ye de bi di u no. Na now free MPP no Ghana for nkwa no mo de bedi yan. Ombe tonton ye japade. Ama o man na kotokam. Asesa ye fen say abewura aban mo abebo kro no akese ye. Ebe coming back to the party. So the signs of that bad leadership na yehu ye no. And then I finding a way into the party now. So I think he should deal with it and find a way. Maybe my catcher said this is the time for them to reset because you see, it doesn't even make sense. It's a political party. We're going to election. We're losing connection with the people instead of you to sit down and build the party. No, yeah, sorry, I see a conference. I call a flag bearer. It doesn't make sense when you know that the party itself is fractured. You are only living. Your friend the same former president say, "Yeah, turn out baby. I'm one of assembly who I born a man here." So who and they run the party, no? There are prominent individuals within the party who are out of anger. I exited the party. Any sensible political strategist might be thinking of how to get these people back.
And not
any way possible. How to get Alan back, how to get other people Alaska, political party a human institution.
That's right.
Yamfa ego and politics. and I am fire emotions and your politics, and I am far before me Koko Ham in your politics, and your quatran would mana only Jatanama could diagram, and I said Jatako Kohano, and do so Koko Hawa. Jatako Kohano, so Koko Hawa, Jatana bet him no more, a dear see. The Nipa da Senina, Pasa within the Paya Jumadia, Sam Koko Ham and I am fast animal in your politics. There are times you need to cede. There are times that you need to give in. There are times you know, I kind of way
vice versa.
Yes, maneuverings. You know, just find balance. Na your politics because human institutions they are coming together. People from different background, with different orientation, with different creed, ethnocentric background. They're different. Educational background. They're different. Understanding. Obia the motive. Adine. So I have people from diverse background or diverse priorities and yabisia. So always there will be a possibility of a group clash.
That's right.
So who as a smart person you have to navigate because it's a stormy platform. Politics is a very stormy platform. You need a wise person to navigate all this because be back with an interest. But as a smart person you are able to bring everybody. Maybe I'm a catcher. Obi say, "Adi there will be a simple and say, one of enemies here, Juma."
When you enemies.
Oh yes, when you are working with your enemies, it's nice because if you are smart, you can get them to work for you for free.
If you are smart.
Oh yes. And whenever an enemy is working for you, they want to prove their worth.
Okay.
So if you are smarter and you know how to deal with them, you can always use your enemies to win. So in politics, so I think that these are some of the things I make your politics, you know, and go through any filter and go through any your friends studies and any research. You will be other sorry and the one or PM, way free here or PM, way in the Casano cry, Casa refined. Boom, 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 sir.
Yam Franon to
my and right now, KSMA have a discussion and say in politics, the most important thing is political communication.
Sure.
By how people don't even prioritize it. I by overhead communicators will be a position in a space, you know. Whenever also not go. But in open politics, the greater part of it is how you communicate. Because it's not about what the president sits at his office and do. It is about how you communicate what you do to people.
Exactly.
What I say, governance is what you are doing in the boardroom. Getting people to know what is going on is the political aspect of it. It is the politics that will give you the prominence. You understand? But Obiaba power na science and all of a sudden no free.
But position.
Yes.
Yes.
Sanity. And you will end up creating a huge vacuum. Now, and not me sign catcher and say John Mahama about 2016. Look at the things the gentleman did. Investment, infrastructure, Kumase, wine. John Mahama exited power in 2016. Or Kofi and Manfo now John Mahama see your friend is Kajetia market. Onua so see for the hospital. Onua see Sagrembe. Hey, Onua so see Bank Hospital. Onua see Maritime. Onua so see Legon. Wow. After the gentleman has been demonized, insulted, yatwa batiana mana kwatena fie no. That was when these things came to bear. You understand? So communication is very key. But how do we prioritize it? Because people think that communication and can say make a position for political communication is the biggest thing our politics.
Exactly.
But people think communication them way. So I know the day MPP buy the same thing. Those who were communicating in post. And I buy no when you buy saying. And this time around, the same thing is happening.
Exactly.
You understand? So, I think that you just have to be very smart. Now, what the politics I say? Now you know the kind of message to sell, when to sell, who to sell, at what to sell. These are basic things. You're in a classroom, baby. And
common sense.
Yes.
And I say, Ivan Kyei innocent. And I'll tell them, 22 minutes into 4 p.m. Now, messages in the banner about or say to because and as you cannot account for any the account or church now also as I'm talking to you now no National Cathedral no count kwa and 58 no $97 million Ivan Yanko.
Yeah, Alaska and President directs a board of trustees in the Yanguno.
That's right.
And I think these are some of the issues.
Board of trustees, National Cathedral.
Yes. and for so be a crowd so that Dantino. I think it's good.
Yeah,
Alaska. I think that this fuel thing. I've spoken a lot about it, and I think it's difficult to be back. Or be better never be a case. And yes, I'm your trust idea with. And my culture, the kind of politics are sometimes grown people tend to do in this country. You see, in opposition, it doesn't mean that adibia soritia. But black man, I think that is how we perceive politics to be. In the first place, nipa na okase oko Jubilee House pump wo ho no omunkrusu no Alaska, that particular filling station, I have been there myself since this government took over. That thing has never operated till date. There is no filling station I operate with Jubilee House. From day one up to now, me say let somebody come and challenge it. There is no filling station I operate with Jubilee House since this government took over. Till date, I'm not saying. And Yajuma, okay, closing it down. I'm told because I'm more to a moon in other coin. You can speak to somebody there and they will give you the briefing.
That's right.
So that alone tells you how I'm for advertising this sincere ignorance. Sometimes when you're speaking, you need to check your fact properly before you speak. But Alaska, Makasa, before elections, one of the name I advocate for has to do with some of these things. Free ride, for appointees in the government officials, which I believe Senyan Sabi and him. Alaska said, if a minister of state or Jacketuya Bafu say on to mean tough well. Na mom just mind the man. Na nurse ni no tie kurase o no no ko on tu ohu nurse ni o ntakrada.
O say
ohu nurse ni atabubo na chida. They equally take a car.
And this are engineers.
And this be o ko boro obi ni ntaban no bidi. Alaska. Obi ono je akatua ono so render equal, but at the bottom line said we are all serving the same motherland, which is Ghana.
That's right.
But those who are giving more no say give me free fuel and as for now doctor ni no say hospital no so your surgery na on don't deserve.
That's right.
Nurse ni no deserve. So it didn't make sense. And in politics no yes and na man ebu amanfo abam.
Okay.
Ama obi an say politics no nya duru top why ho na ede. And then secondary school no university show be we are person or
politics.
Politics is not a vocation na nya adwuma. But obitimi to 8 years on nya adwuma da or twense na ban power. Onya hweo they do nothing ne dia no so of twense na ban beba power no onya bibia ye so kroma say no doing politics na be business.
That's right.
Onya wurama unya yase unya 1 year pa wetimi de wia to ka nyina wa born 8 years
obetimi wia e dia to woka ade mo I say for service no o serve no have about done to amass wealth.
So I have always advocated that we should move to a point that yebema political leadership no be less attractive.
Okay.
Say nipa nkoku no ho nkonkope. Because I know the tofu car kwa no to de me to me de. And I've also been advocating that this per diem
exactly.
We need to cancel because that money near one across border. And you betimi create ma manfo okroma no yem be hyew
as gracia.
Ba ko fo timi kwotena ya friend say UK for be I don't know kwene bi betimi 2 days na ye. Obetin how twa be 1 week every day bia $200. Chief justice o tam na ikunu ne made o mkwa ne ba no ba fi no kra $10,000. $10,000 wonim sika ketwa.
Ne ba no ba fi.
Ya first ya. Sa na dollar na 15 cedis. Ne ba no ba fi no 2 kwan ba fi no kra 1.5 billion. Young lady or more bra. Onya adwuma bia.
So oni ni mame 2 kwan.
Oni mame 2 kwan. Oba fi no kra 1.5 billion. Says amre na dollar 15 cedis. Young lady o ma menye chief justice a we Ghana ni America wo so akọ school wa bra e bia kwa America we ya adwuma hospital. How many years na be take you ansa na wanya?
Mo man
$10,000.
Police ni a tebia anadwo nu ogina sumu.
Onko na obi ti bank anim am roba ba wona we first target train wakun.
Tuo no se se fia akọ dokroto wa.
Go coast tuo asomo kwa abo akire festival. Police vote no asomo kwa abo akire festival. Alaska I reho. So some of these things the political space you are monetizing a fertile avenue. And the first no na nipa mo nim de ni nyansa na kwaya politics but I said obi atiasim Oh, be at Yasim.
Abranya say presidential we no be ko bi. Also be ko bi.
Alaska. And so be at Yasim.
On can was.
Comment na open no win free me. Alaska obiat yasim because you're loading with doses of cash. So I am looking at a trend that you bet me ye those incentives ni free ho. Na who really want to serve. Raw. You do that stage now. Some of the Scandinavian countries, your friends say Europe, some of the countries now. Now we see prime minister not a bicycle so. One am for na nam na mo koba.
What down for year or pobia. Or some sort of sound could be. I saw that about in 99 years.
No, someone say more than more be or no, that's what come myself. Alaska. Oko Europe, some of the prime minister unko not to dream when I'm for. Oko no bit in a bicycle, so Holland and then as for no move. Just say you don't see because leadership isn't about creating a vast difference between the rule and the omo ye rule omo. You are there as a gatekeeper, almost strategic directions and how things can be done. Sabe the citizen that know that they will feel comfortable. Yeah, no, you create a huge gap. Among 40 sruna do na go form no ahiafo no so na nkwase dede ni na sefo no mtoka cho ntoko mo na
no defend
and they don't even get nothing from what is happening. What I say. So I think we need to move a step further. Now you move away from all these things. Now so good this baby na allowance. The last time now I was telling you about how this whole big allowance thing came. About abrofo those times, you know. Ya fa governor so mra kroma ba malaria betimi akun. Asante for na bonofo ekon achemfo no we for fight for territory we betimo good obeti the British Asante war hwan and the governor no ba ne life is in significant danger and you obeka tro hema ne say answer na mekọ no I need to make sure say ade bia da yie ti be man a big salary ye be man caretaker ye be man security ye be man clothing allowance ye be man ye fan say cook ye be man hwan niam no bebre. The idea was that coming from London to Ghana, no, I have very significant risk that we take. Obia kura nko malaria betimi akun. That's right. Enti ye compensate we say obana bibi betoa. At least you know say why bibi. That was the colonial mentality then. Ye inherit ye no. Black man who said that be ede. Sa na man ye nyim firi ho. Ena ya ye di ahosu no. Ena yasesa sa nkwase na man di ko judge fia. O cook. Or their permanent nema, or the senior nema, or gardener, or ye way, back of all. Services now, service no so, and your chrono service no Sanja bribe in Ponche. Nipana yet 20 per chan who is Siano, or Sanja bribe with Jim Ponche. Says a Nipano cry a nipper can say Sanja Cromfo, and then yes, I know Bezoka. It's sad. So I said obia pesa okunipa to get to that particular position.
That's right.
For me koye see you obe me koye see you my salary required 4 years and touch it because allowance na say for no witimi to kwan free. Me to say bia ne hu ba bia pe okwa and now kwa some of the woman in the business okwa na wajeje jamanfo sika na do ma kan okwa opa ma. And the business. Okwa football spaces anetie. Ya jiji jamanfo sika ministry ne we mu to kwan na ya jiji jamanfo sika 100,000 no nipa triaka ya conference okwa na ya ko jaw magum and then Donald Trump ban o kasa amanfo still overstay o visa anti free na ko watwam 3 months no be ma okwa ko bilemu no o ya so amanfo gum because of greed. So I think this is just the beginning. My country said President Mahama has just 4 years. The only thing he can leave behind is a legacy.
That's right. Good name.
Good name. And Neamana over the years, he can touch them and make sure say or the sweeping changes about politics him. Now Emma say and I'm about na to me all of a sudden I'm fabulously rich. Aobia cannot even explain why Omunya what in the free and as a forum. Basta the tension you politics over the years.
That's right.
Because being a DC will be the same as being a doctor somewhere. Being a DC is the same as being a nurse at a facility. Because you are all serving the same country.
You receive your salary and go
yes, exactly. Nasikana yan such a way baby or bia will be an sabakana there. And run on my catcher and say, you see, in building a country, no, we are so narrow minded. Say, We don't even see say enya krache for nkwa na de chichiro man yo.
That's right.
A nation building is the aggregation of our collective way, collective might. Obia de teacher ni
irrespective of background.
No, baby obia.
Obaba mfaso.
Na carpenter ni so ni mfaso. Nti we no bu ye ha na baba ya ma wo.
Very well.
Uber driver no. Yeah, that's round upon driver so mun kwaduma. Will this country run? Obia ho hia. So my bia won't even prioritize other people no. Okwa Europe, omo ho so mfaso ya omo wo inside duma.
That's right.
Omo so mfaso. That is why some of the time no job offers na buy say a skilled.
Yeah, that's right. My specification.
Yes. Now won't be found sign yahwe mfaso be na also because they don't need you to go and sit in office to okokambro for okokambro fa chebro ni ana den.
Wo to bro for chebro ni.
So nsa medjuma ni bibia betimi aye. That is why the last time saying say even your educational system no kra no me changes e because me who changes papa bia. We need a radical changer. Ebe put emphasis on skill oriented education. And in the we secondary school no say to on to aso biem kra Alaska or your set obetimi ya adwuma say carpenter obetimi asese nkonnwa ye bibia nipa no be we secondary school no na say your friend say electrical asa otimi ye ni nyina akositia opeso to aso kwana no dey say different thing that we should get to a point nobody should complete secondary school e wo Ghana ha on to me fa nsa enye bibi 2.3 and which means woman knowledge you know what sign in say o sign any baby.
But so that was the concept of the inception of JSS. President Rollins Dubai.
But
and carpentry shops bebre.
Not JSS kwa na ho. No. Because Pretech, I remember those times. You more the old call Pretech who call sinin we and as for you might think say but sa na money nyina say way off. Oh yeah we no. Who sia sa na man we school no be seen as I went to me ankokra na. Wanya carpenter adwuma wanya o mason adwuma wanya o way obetimi aye bibi
Kuffour Rollins the JSS aba in order so ability Rollins obey no JHS
say politics na so Alaska there are a lot of things that we can do. The last time I catch it very often obi enam kronu atwa hwe fam now man for the phone how to do basic resuscitation because sometimes you know say breathing na katia you need a seconds of so briefing to somebody to revive the person. School no time na ya de kire nipa draw abebe show ne pass no we can introduce the same kit to human anatomy. And ya kran be secondary school no oni ba bia na level wo oni ba bia na heart wo oni these things are basic and na how you can learn.
So we nim na ko twahwe wo ya bia hwe ano nche ole.
Yes, so can nipa no be we JSS no or be we JHS no like some of these basic human anatomy ni basic physiology no otiase.
Sum it up for me.
So Alaska I think say now the ball is in President Mahama's court.
That's right.
I can't say I know the day he will be judged based on what he does, and he has time. And I think that some of these sweeping changes, you know, what the opposition NPP and these people will say there is absolutely nonsense, because these are jokers who shouldn't even be talking at all. Because I'm grateful for a sense of shame. And why na ekasa no on very saying
Sammy Awuku.
Oh, masa.
Me da say.
Onu lotu ho nkwan kasa ho nsem boboba.
Lotteries all well.
Alaska. Now me say the whole Ghana was a crime scene. So man who kojo upon kroma ne number bi no the bill or court na yenye government spending bia should be tied to specific development. These are jokers. You will empower fooling around now. Obi Kenyan sasa chamuntie. You will empower yesterday fooling around this country. Sadly memu German say and several other ways.
That's right.
And Rana Mahama Okumase catch almost say marketing as for Robert Twaso. The gentleman started this facility 8 years ago. Your government was in power. Ashanti people to Abamau. You left it to rot. How dare you? Run and do any power sense of shame. Afena Mahama Koba Koka say, your friend saying, Sewa Hospital no or Baby market no more. No. Your friend say, Kajetia market.
That's right. Yeah.
8 years, what no, and run not say 60% complete or Muguso more year. I know so a different way. I have a man for a human year. This is development. And then, okay, say Legon Hospital now, ya can't.
That's right.
Do you know, say our phase 2?
Oh, shit.
And 8 years, I will Kuffour. I don't still be boss. Legon Proton, the Homiamo Kocha Hunia, our phase 2, that big hospital now, who know phase 2, 8 years, these people don't do anything. the Kuffour yeah and say nko why placard na Mahama data no fa ni wo that kind of increase say mo iti bi wo hefa placard na no asie wi oja na hokọ na mo kọ why ye e na mo the Kuffour do din kotare ho.
So it means these people know they are criminals.
You don't know.
Talented ones. But I say
why you must have from manum.
Yeah, Ntim Fordjour because I was a win Blink. Amos Ebo Esel need the other Albany or Alaska. Can't MPP say forget about 2020 because John Dramani Mahama Ghana. Anthony Remo as MPP every parliament because of Omuntias every KG for crying no yes way 0303 402862 and 0303 402904 0541 82 5106. Good evening.
Even Alaska.
We didn't be a Awuku Sefi. Boss, we didn't be a Awuku Sefi.
Hello, Alaska.
Boss, men tia who were TV nim. Me tell unka.
Me wa bon tempra. But I say wa mama konya kesi. Me kasa free. Bono udru brekuma na oba efra jaman sa drobo.
Right. Udi.
Me din the number ko. Ida call number ko.
Right.
Alaska, you may remember management pa mo boma o mangana me chia me am boss of example fa nyumri.
Oh, nyame adoma hode ho.
Looking good.
Thank you.
As always.
I say you see through ho.
Ya munya sade.
Abo be do sade a.
Why?
Abo bi odo sade osuan wan.
Osuan wan.
Anya preko.
Preko. E kwante ma he. O mranse o baye. Ko yankra wife. Goes about there. And Ivan, maybe I find.
Oh, because so far so good. And I think that the atmosphere in town is quite positive.
Positive, are you sure?
Oh yes, because Mugabi, we said Ghana for.
I already said last week, buy an 7,000 and they 7,500.
Okay.
Me started project to be me turn 9,600 in December.
So how much have you saved?
No, check mommy. 9,600 in December, Kuffour time. And today is 7,500. For calculator,
so you are making 2,100.
It's no more than 2,100.
2,100.
No.
Yes. So I think
21 million. And I freeze you.
We got to a point now. You drew a tipping point.
This is way a Kuffour address wa and 21 million ya. Edasui kodi kwa kudwa na moto mo wiemhyem
cement so 91 Ghana city
91 ena kane no so na 125 nti no ye 34 cedis per bag nti sa 31 cedis
mi to be kan
senka John Mahama ama ene ka Kuffour do da so wa bemu anase nyame mane pare senka ba omi na wa bemu a enko man ni bedi amia we ko de bekwa kudware na moto mu wiemhyem.
So have you seen the clear difference
between
the two?
No, but the difference between MPP and NDC no John Mahama. It's simple.
But listen, na me nim say e be ye o, but na me nim say be intentem say.
Won yu ba bia o. Anaka say 21 million no we wi. Won yu ba bia. He's just beginning. After na odi ato first year. Wo be change akọ second year o. Onu babia GS near 4 what do 6 months ni the first year no kwa wonya nyiye afi no be ko second year
onya kwa machire se first no ko enim na second year number 1 osere ho na te na ko enim fi
na 4 faba
na fifu
no eko obi sere ho
CJ no so ko se na samba
eko de oti front no esere ho
into way a first year no
first year
yes sign
onko obi babia
we are sure say first year no.
Oh, I think that the signs are quite positive, and that is the need here by any sustaining. That is the most important thing. Because I don't know, Mr. Cultural here, but we are Ghana could do ya, you do a tipping point, and I'm for lose trust our democracy, because not never be a call wayward. And tia tuaba ama bayasesa na things are beginning to pick up. I think give you that sense of hope, inspire man for once again. Hope is coming confidence is coming once again. No, Nema Eshas are turning around, and for me, I think that is quite positive. And President, so here some of the key strategic decisions are what take here, and also in line with in Semana Mamfoeka. Especially at the executive level, excesses in the sort of spending a month for year. And I know that's sorry yet to say I say full allowance and then I say for what for me some of these things will be a Ghana and not in China who say yes, the government is indeed shouldering some of the burdens now over the years yet for Ghana for so
really afraid of burdens
that particular confidence in Ghanaians
more than 100 million
because 2022 you're spending over 300 million in some of these fuel allowances in us. For 2023, we spent over 500 million. This last year, 2024, the data is not out. But because of our election, 2022, it was 300 million. 2023, and a year over 600 million. Yes. So the 2024, and a data na my election year no possibly we could be running around 700 million Ghana cedis. You understand? So say oyisa de ni free was save on mine no averagely no you can talk about 600 million
ministers in appointees.
Why
600 or more.
Yes, 600 or more and I yes save.
But is it fair?
It's fair. Na Mugabi say ade my catch say nyansa bi anim. Now nurse ni ono I hospital and the salary 300 Ghana cedis. Or budget 3,000, 4,000 Ghana. What is sign up on top petrol? No, be on over 200, 300 million or non to petrol. So I think that the idea is long overdue.
Common sense, right?
Yes, common sense will tell you. And it's not as if so minor try to build a country. So the sacrifice must be across board. You understand? It's not always so be a Ghana needing no sacrifice it. So be a sacrifice. So I think the president has made a very bold decision what taking up that particular center stage. And say ya kasa economy no more na ya assess ya. Top petrol, the minister told me so you feel the heat, and that will give us a very clear and a very dispassionate analysis of what the real state of the economy is.
Everyone will feel it.
Everyone will feel it, and that is governance. You understand? The policies in the name be quiet. So for me, I think that even we crowd no, I say binumba abekeka ho, never be te pede yam nesa ansem hunu bebre na ye pia because I say ye flow because me person you drew a point Ghana ni be hu say being in leadership position. It's not about some what I say. I say, I thought that because I'm for abuse those things, those privileges. People are just abusing it. I think we need to make to a point. And then we need to look at all these things. No, per diem, no per se, no. People abuse it, and there is no proper regulatory framework around it. For instance, you bet me I say, oh, Kolande, koye program bra. Maybe at that program you can even take a day to do it, but the longer you stay, the more you get your per diem. So you can end up staying because there is no proper destiny. So I think we need to look at it because it's not as if it's a minor so you're building your minor. We need to take all these things. You can open 1 year 1 day meditate and the amount of money we pay in per diems in as a for no. Do you know a number of people, young people, provide their more? What I say? In the country. So if we are resetting these areas, we need to have a holistic view and reset in that particular fashion. So, the national cake, baby will be
Listo, as I go straight to the main topics.
Ivan has always made sense.
It is out of fuel and other issues. He's not talking about pay there.
He's making sense.
Are you sure?
He's making sense.
Fuel allowance scrapped?
Yes.
And then you want per diem to also be?
No, you see, why do we take per diem? What must say? Share. Your idea be honorarium. What must say? Honorariums are not supposed to be obligatories. What I say? A idea, the entire yema honorarium, they say, you should say, what you ma wo ye no. Ebia I was say your mouth your boat chidom. What you say? Na chidom so no. Me say by force. What you say? Na we no de ya mra ma na ye te say by force. Inti abri bia no say nipa no eje sika bia ono na adwemu no osusu say me ma dream say
suspended says money baby.
Say gracia ora mahama say obetwam meboa
watch
okay esgrasha na eden eya honorarium
yes
sika oman ni susu say onyuma pa obedima oman no ntino ye mawo ade we na sabio ye de aboa ma ebi a wadwuma wawie no wo de akona wo de akodi de na wanka say mekoso me man kra me manfo kra o ma anya mehwe meboa saa ne omani nyina ye ne oma ye dwenhu esan say abusua fi say wokoso mo man de na ode baaye meboa enti wokona de bi ba de dachi bi obi abepese ne ba na ne wo faase ana ne busua ni be kwa ban mu meboa ene ye de baaye no akufo ba nya kro no bo woje pede am wiayen esa bo man esikam kro no edi bi ko fi wiem se ko sa se wa broni entaso faso ne sen so o manfo a wo no sabio ye de to ketenkete ma na so me de akwa han wiem se de na wiem twitwuma moto mu gare gu ye so entaso no faso wa wi another chi akonya president e bia sebi abodam chi Kuffour no wa baba ye west na se ni wodi ani ho because I wo kro mo bokro no Otumasi intino media me ne ya adwen. And Ivan, you see, one thing that I find so interesting about Ivan is he thinks before he talks. What you say? Not many persons in the communication space think deeply before they make comments. And you know, many are doing. But when largely, most of the man who see what they do. Matisse, you say the police council no look at reviewing the CI 76
about what?
The Police Service Act, the Police Service constitutional instrument. Na me wo adisredi bia me pese me de to IGP ne the police council ne
IGP no ko say o be nyina no o man be 2 years ka ho
no Tino Mestre say
he is performing.
Yeah, he is really performing. And so the Mestre ora you know say also between chief inspector who's a chief inspector police for Wagana and you know also pa they are the majority in terms of the rank senior officers rank. Enti me say between the chief inspector rank no any the ASP no assistant superintendent of police no ye fa bibi nko hemfimfin na ye hu one more omoye senior chief inspectors.
Okay.
Because obi wa o chief inspector but oba ye nche onima dwuma na o ka se chief inspector say Ivan ye chief inspector na me so ye chief inspector one hwa obi be hwe ma no nwi aka se no ye senior bia na Ivan ye senior entino I think say me suggestion we dey enye eyi but enkomo ye nka beboa am ye timi ehu hwan na ye senior most entino mo ye hu who falls within a certain category na onipa ko no ye ni senior chief inspector na omo so a afi no omo eba no so no ye hu because enye obia na betima akọ college we say college no very limited quota system ye dey college no entino enye obia na betima akọ college ababa ye ASP enti before college no na onipa ko no kra no say wadi emredudu bi wo chief inspector rank ni mu a ye betimi aboa ma ebi a ye hu say oye senior chief inspector na obi a ene ya obe chief inspector no woni na anyepe Mestre sade no ya ebe buama police ni mu no because I say dan pariama nipa bi mu ani atra o mani nton
be matna e chief inspector
and the so atna wa che college is say o master ti o mo ye say bi mbeko but who say e ho nso enya nipa nyina na betime pia mu cho nipa ne so doso o mu chief inspectors come be 20,000 and if I'm not mistaken o mu doso pa o eti mesre say omo we say review na and this CI 76 na John Mahama time no mo ye CI 76 enti no say John Mahama saba I think say the police service will be better served their fair share of the cake when that's between chief inspector rank no and the ASP rank no yeah the senior chief inspector be shewa na ama
ebi matra fa kwache
se wo senior hona na afi no wa ho boa ya so akwantu for college
station officer
what you say sano yentimi nkofa obi ya fa ni chief inspector ne ya enko college
Now we don't order that.
Now the order that last week. SNS abem. Omo power the Ghana Police Service chief inspectors because most of them were turning around 8 years, 10 years. What must say? Maybe out the school, because be school but the experience in service, no. So as a criteria, service with integrity. Yes,
inspectors and chief inspectors.
And one thing more. Review committee. No, so let's say omonfa junior ranks nibi any membership because who say more off a straw no. Muntimi decide ma more from no. Munni more plights. It mess some more for more plights no. And funny paba kumienu bu meka mo ho. What you say? Sebina aye better say. Oh, there be who say enketua for no so hia a voice. Say see utie will be a voice. O fu that way. Utisu messages are okay bebrebe. So on the platform so. Esenke yankwa a voice ne pese e kan dia. Enti ma omo enso emeye involved na sebi obi anso share opinion. Na sebi o man ka say ye jayemu. Then the police service will better stand and help the security of this country. These are the two things I think say made it too right on any.
And the opposite JP and by the time we have so. Maybe money be 2 years in come.
Oh, we no sebi imperial sir. President and
the so was yeka.
Yeka. Na the attorney me no send me sinim ora mahama no
nituma sa afa no
yes send me nim ora mahama no enya dia obekwati ora yowunu akofo obi foforo
to man make akranka
obema ni mre ade a
one director of finance Mr. Frimpong COP Frimpong
hey
but
what Mr. Frimpong ni shu hoda me kwa me fa we o enti me ko police headquarters ne say me Mr. Frimpong
mustaji no bi I said Dr. Kalusu is there
but ono ne there no there no
mustaji na
I said what can you mu kakra
Mr. Frimpong there why there
I said you mu kakra
was why there
as what can you mu kakra
ma wo
there we dem said Dr. Dufo na the man
me da say Listowel Nana Poku 6 minutes inside 5 live on TVS was it no so on Power 97.9. Let's get to serious business. Main topics of the day and Thursday na fi yenhwe na filling station say water akwa the sharp 106.9 FM Museum Island Bele Western 100.3 FM Tamale in the northern regional capital. We are live on Kesmi 107.1 FM Bole in Kiligi FM Boko Source 100.1 FM Sansona WFM wa Zeps FM was Biliana Pusiga Wing Pansampa Wende FM Volta regional capital. We are live on Global 105.1 FM Sansuni Animo Mo Bono region 90.9 FM in Sokon and Suma FM on Krankwata for regional capital go so Nananum 92.5 FM station with ambition Aduna FM so I was Sound Corey ye call a year Uti regional 3 stations New 89.7 FM a year Doctor a year Asamoah or Neno Honka for ye Mamma Helen Yajon to so Omuzu Kremo ewo a year Cratch West constituency Munina Muti and life Sansu and a KFM Opasana Boom FM our Jessica